war started in Ukraine, that was a real shock for our family. We didn't expect that it will be so fast and so horrible for us.
Мы проснулись из-за того, что услышали взрывы. После сна пришли в себя, и мы сразу поняли, что это война. И, конечно же, мы приняли решение тут же собирать вещи.
I have 3 daughters, so that's no way for me to stay.
Когда война началась, было очень грустно, неожиданно.
Это было очень сложно, потому что все важные вещи дома, все друзья, все отношения, даже учеба, даже, можно сказать, вся жизнь была там, запланирована. И поэтому это было очень сложно принять тот факт, что мы покидаем дом.
Hi, my name is Agnes. I'm 7. I have a big family.
I was worried about how can we travel with a pet because they don't have documents. My brother-in-law, he said, "Don't worry, I will be watching over your cat, Arsenii. Just try to save your life." And the next day we fled to Romania. We thought that will be the safest place for us.
Когда мы подъехали к границе, там было очень много людей, была большая очередь.
I didn't know about if my husband could cross the border or not, because he's a man. But finally they told us, yes, you can cross the border because you have 3 kids.
Конечно, когда мы попали уже на паром, и когда мы прошли границу, то было такое неописуемое ощущение. Аж не верилось, что меня выпустили, потому что я знаю, что людей разворачивали и не пускали.
That was most stressful time for our family in Romania because we never been for abroad, and that was the first time we crossed the border. New culture, new language, everything is new for us. It's like start from 0 level, and for us that was really stressful and horrible.
Мы жили в Украине, у нас все было хорошо, и тут в один миг, просто в одну секунду, с одним взрывом, все моментально остановилось, все изменилось, будущее, планы на будущее.
During this time, we were trying to find the job for my husband in Romania. We were trying to continue doing this business, like wallpapering, wall covering, and we figured out that there was no opportunity to do this business in Romania. I was looking all through internet, talking to my friends, talking to other people to find a way what to do, because I realized that it will take much longer time to resolve this problem in Ukraine. And that's why we decided to move forward and to look for this kind of business in other countries. One person from San Francisco, he responded.
I'm Robin Jerome. I'm a professional wallpaper hanger. It's a bit random, but it's what I fell into. Alexander had a company in Odessa for however many years, and he sent me a message on Instagram. That's how the conversation started.
He says, yes, definitely, I can help you with a job if you can make to come here.
Я начал искать в интернете, где я могу пару недель поселить свою семью, пока я не найду себе аренду для жилья.
When we first heard that Putin had invaded Ukraine, it was mostly just shock and almost disbelief. And then what was going on, it was like, we need to do something. 2 college kids had started this website to match refugee families with sponsors, and I signed up. All of a sudden I got an email from Maria Bejanar saying, we have a family of 6 and we'd like to come to the United States in the San Francisco area. So I went to my son who had purchased a house next door, and I said, would you be willing to donate the house for a couple of years to allow the family to live in it? And he thought about it, talked to his wife, and said yes a day later. So I wrote back to Maria and said, okay, let's put the paperwork together.
He responded me so quick, and I was so surprised.
Когда я познакомился с Джеффом через интернет, то у нас появилась надежда и появился план на будущее.
When it actually happened, it was a happy shock. This is the one good thing that's come of Instagram for me. Honestly, the rest is a huge waste of time. But
Когда мы приехали в Сан-Франциско, нас встретили в аэропорту, и это была такая, наверное, за все эти года еще одна самая яркая такая эмоциональная вспышка, когда мы увидели, где мы будем жить.
They arrived at the house and found a beautiful sheet cake with a Ukrainian sunflower on it. And they were told, here's your new home for the next 2 years.
Все до одного нам помогали, приглашали к себе в гости, поддерживали нас. И такая поддержка, конечно, она нам дала большой старт здесь, в новой стране для нас.
I didn't believe that it can happen to my family. That we can be safe, and not only safe, but also we can have all of this in this house, and we can have all of these good people supporting us.
Когда люди начали нам помогать и в Румынии, и здесь в самом аккаунте, то вот в этой вот темноте, в этом вот сложном состоянии, в этом мы видели столько добра и столько света. Это такой контраст. Это сложно описать словами. Это всегда хотелось просто плакать, я не знаю.
But there was a problem with Agnesa. She was missing her cat. She was missing her Arsenii, her friend for life.
Да, я очень сильно скучала по объятиям, обнимать его. И обнимать, и кормить, и спать с ним, и делать чушуху. Я делала в Украине.
Every time I was trying to put her to bed, she was crying. It was hard for me and for her. She says, I can't stand this anymore. I want to go back home. She says, I cannot sleep without Arsenii. So I always think about him, how he is sleeping without me, what he is doing, where is he now?
Она была дома, и она каждый день с ним спала. Она каждый с ним играла.
Это как ее второй друг.
Да, это был ее просто лучший друг. Каждый день она была с ним. И он самый лучший котик, реально. Поэтому Агнеса очень плакала.
Тоже плачешь?
Да.
It's just breaking our hearts, especially my husband. You know, it's his heart's in his daughters. If I see my husband is crying about that, so it's a big problem. I was dreaming about Arsenii to come here, and I believe that dreams come true.
My name is Dee Harnish. I'm a flight attendant. I met Maria on a flight leaving Frankfurt, Germany, coming to San Francisco, California. They were fleeing the Ukraine and leaving everything behind, and it was an interesting conversation, and it was heartbreaking at the same time. I waited about a week, and then I contacted Maria because we exchanged information. Maria asked me if I happened to know any way that maybe we could get someone to help them get their cat. Which I said, there's only one person I know that could even potentially come close to touching this subject, and that would be Caroline.
I got a text message from a friend of mine from work. She knew that I had done a lot of work with animals in Hawaii through rescue, foster, and she said, I have a family that I met on a flight, and they are from Ukraine, and they have a little girl who cries every night because she misses her cat. We want to know if you can help them get their cat back. And I just was overwhelmed by that request. How do you get a cat out of Ukraine? Do you go into a war-torn country? How do you find contacts to do the step-by-step process? And I didn't even know where to begin. I just knew that it was the coolest mission, so I just had to start a plan.
My name is Angelica, and I am an animal rescuer for In the Name of Zoe. As an animal rescuer, every time somebody tells you there is this animal in need, then your wheels start turning and you try to figure out a way of how can you help. The first thing that we needed to do was to get the cat out of Ukraine. He needed to get a health certificate. In order to get a health certificate, you need a veterinarian to check him up, to get his vaccines. You also get, a passport, all of those things.
То есть на нас на самом деле обрушилось очень много вопросов с разных сторон. Коту нужно сделать документы. Как ему сделать? Мой старший брат поможет. Написали ему, позвонили. Он всегда готов. Давай, вперед.
Я очень удивился для начала. Хотел в Америку отправить, это, не то, что непростое, а необычное. Вот. Начали заниматься его подготовкой, к ветеринару отвезли, паспорт получили, прививки сделали, все, которые нужно.
А тем временем мы искали, кто его перевезет теперь с Одессы в Бухарест, а с Бухареста в Калифорнию.
My husband was trying to find a person who can evacuate people and animals.
Потом мы договорились с Владом, который работал перевозчиком. Он вывозил, эвакуировал людей с Одессы в Кишинев, в Румынию.
Мне позвонил брат, сказал, что нужно передать кота с водителем Владом. Я приехал, привез его на мотоцикле, кота, и передал его из рук в руки. Дальше кот поехал уже по маршруту.
When Arsenii was coming to Bucharest, Maria had already called her friend, Tatiana.
I texted to Tatiana, can she host a cat for a while until we figure out who can fly with the cat. She is also a refugee from Odessa region. We helped her to find a place to stay in Romania. She says, definitely I can help you.
One day I woke up and there was a video the little girl's mother had sent to me of their cat Arsenii entering an apartment in Bucharest, Romania. From that point on, I knew we're going to get this cat. It was a matter of getting someone to Bucharest. Enter Mimi.
I was on holiday and Angelica called me and asked me if I would go from Greece to Bucharest to pick up Arsenii. And immediately I was, yes, absolutely. Mostly because I know what it's like to love your animals and I can't imagine what it would be like to have to leave them behind.
But there was a problem. When I texted to Tatiana, she told me she no longer cannot take care about Arsenii.
All of a sudden it became very, tense, like we need to get him now, otherwise we don't have anyone else to watch him.
Tatiana's family discovered that they're actually going to be granted asylum in another country and that they had to leave. So because they had to leave, they couldn't bring Arsenii with them, so it created this emergent situation, which led to me having to cut my vacations short and had to hurry and get over to Bucharest because they were leaving within the next couple of weeks.
We have the airline tickets all set up. Angelica took care of all of that. And we got another message from Mimi saying, we've got a little bit of a problem. I fractured my foot in Greece. And we just thought, how are we going to get that fixed?
It was so painful. I didn't know if I was going to be able to go to Bucharest.
Oh my God, is this going to happen? Is this really going to happen? Do I need to try to figure out how to get to Romania?
Went to the emergency room, convinced them to give me a boot and some crutches, and made it to Bucharest anyways.
Health certificates to travel for animals are only good for 10 days. Now Mimi had to go and find a veterinarian in Romania and make sure that Arsenii had everything in order to travel.
That poor cat had to have more information than a human being.
I got a phone call from Angelica saying that we needed to try to get this cat seen that evening. There was a tuk-tuk driver that I was with, and I told him this story, and he offered his own time.
The tuk-tuk driver loved the story, so he transported her everywhere she needed to go, to the vet office at night to get all the work done. And the next day she flew back to Athens with the cat.
So we flew from Bucharest to Athens, stayed the night in Athens, and then the next morning we flew from Athens to Montreal.
Canadian agricultural department and all of these are very serious when an animal comes in. They have more strict rules than the US.
When I got to the checkpoint to go through customs, I started getting asked a lot of questions. Why do you have this cat? Where is this cat from? How did this cat come into your possession? And it started to really feel like, oh no, do you leave the cat in Montreal? I have to come home. I have to be able to go back to work. I have to come back to my life. I'm already extending a trip and cutting it short and extending it at the same time. So it was definitely a oh shit moment.
We didn't know if they were going to let him out of Canada. So thankfully they did.
I told Agnesa, you must be prepared. Tomorrow morning, Arsenii is coming. She says, okay, I will not sleep all night.
Я не могла поверить, что кот приедет, но когда они сказали, что он приедет, я тогда уже такая думала, что реально?
We all were waiting for Mimi. Finally, when we saw Mimi with the cat in a carrier, we were so excited, and I just pushed Agnesa, I just step forward. This is your cat is coming. When we unzipped that carrier and we saw Arsenii's face, oh, what's happening? I'm here. Oh, all the family were crying. They burst into tears. Everybody were happy to see Arsenii back into his family.
То, знаете, это как воссоединение семьи на самом деле произошло. Потому что он настолько родной, он настолько, не знаю, это как будто бы это человек приехал, твой родной и близкий, хотя это вроде бы всего лишь кот.
Thank God for good people in the world that are willing to help and put their neck out there and do whatever it takes to bring this child her biggest joy.
That was the moment that everybody felt that Arsenii was a part of our Ukrainian home. And when he is with us, it's like a part of our home is with us.
У меня счастья были полные улыбки. У меня, я очень рада была и не знала, что мне вообще делать.
When all of these people gathered together to help us to bring a little cat, I saw that this world full of hope. And I believe that good people are much more in this earth than negative people. Everything is because of our girls. We want to help them to build their future.
Нам тут очень понравилось. Тут люди просто такие добрые, открытые, да. Было очень приятно, что они так к нам относятся и так нас принимают. Мы здесь очень счастливы, очень благодарим здесь людей.
We thought about coming back to Ukraine, but it will be much harder to get back and to start everything over. So that's why we decided to stay here, to start a new life and to help our family to grow.
В Украине мы помогали людям, у нас были в Одессе беженцы с Африки, и мы не могли, конечно, почувствовать то, что происходит с этими людьми. Но когда мы стали в этой позиции, что нам помогают, то мы увидели, насколько это важно. Мы увидели важность вот этого вот внимания и помощи людям, которые попали в тяжелые обстоятельства. И больше мы понимаем, да, что делая добро, мир он становится действительно ярче, светлее и добрее.
I'll throw away this letter of sorrow now. I'll pay my way through the darkness to the light somehow. No longer no evil will conquer me, and you'll see. Sun will always shine over the sky, and rainy clouds will show the rainbow in wild. How wonderful and glorious is this world. Sweet journey all my life, he has just started now. All over the world I see the light. Nothing even can do the darkest night. Let hope arise and truth reveal itself. Holding on together, not falling apart. My journey just starting now. All over the world I see the light. Nothing even can do the darkest night. Let hope arise and truth reveal itself. Holding on together, not falling apart. My journey just started now.
Thank you.